What up, guys? Here's your transmission for Thursday, December 20th. We got some new Q, a few other things to talk about. And first thing I want to say, though, my website's up. Brand new. Go sign up for the newsletter. That's all I wanted to tell you. No time to waste. Let's get into the new Q of the day. So it's been about a week, but Q hopping on the scene again yesterday. And we're going to start right here with post 2626. Q linking us an article to NBC News. Let's take a look at that first. It says, Flynn hearing leaves the far right's conspiracy theorists wanting. Anytime you see the words conspiracy theorists in a mainstream media article, you know it's going to be bad. In this article written by a guy named Ben Collins, he's basically NBC News' go-to guy for anything discrediting QAnon. At the very end of this article, he throws in a little sentence, believers in QAnon, the repeatedly debunked conspiracy theory. Just bad journalism. Bad journalism from a bad journalist. Ben Collins, he even did a video on Q back in August when it went mainstream and tried to discredit the whole thing. I've had some problems on Twitter with the guy, so just terrible journalism here. Bad stuff. And then Q says, the clock is ticking. When will the first alarm ring? If the Senate was the primary target, getting majority control with that 53-47, active when, Q asks. Well, that goes active January 3rd. That's when our new session of Congress convenes next year, so January 3rd. Then Q asks, the executive order with designated targets, active when? I believe Q is referencing this executive order, the 2018 amendments to the Manual for Courts Martial, signed back in March. This goes active January 1st. So we got new Congress, January 3rd, this EO, January 1st. So 2019, a lot of big things are going to happen starting next year, it looks like. Ongoing investigations, ... in regards to the Clinton Foundation. There are a lot of sealed indictments, Sarah Carter said on Sean Hannity's show the other week. It's all going to come out. Uranium One dossier, Clinton Foundation, etc. Sean Hannity said that, SH. I have pretty good sources, ... Sean Hannity subtly said at the very end of that broadcast. Q then saying, there is a reason why SH, Sean Hannity, SC, Sarah Carter, and JS, that's not me, John Solomon are on stage right now because they're all trustworthy on the mainstream stage, it looks like. Next post here, Q referencing the fake news media. Why does the fake news continuously attack a, as they say, so-called only a conspiracy, nothing to see here, lonely guy behind a keyboard movement? The largest media companies in the world giving it so much attention, with the Washington Post leading the attack. Because, of course, the Washington Post is basically the CIA's #1 go-to source when they're trying to discredit or throw out propaganda about anything. Logical thinking always wins. Moving on, Q linking the YouTube video of Donald Trump's speech that they've linked quite a few times. This video will get Donald Trump elected. This is not another 4-year election, as Trump says in that speech. Listen very carefully. Power returned to the people, long-term solutions. And then this next post here, Donald Trump giving us a little nod on the boards there. D-Day, Patriots, we have our country back. Q+. Country, capital C. As Trump has said before, always refer to this country with a capital C in it. Q+. Next post here, article from Fox News about McCain associate sharing the unverified Steele dossier with BuzzFeed, a new court filing says. Q referencing some very old posts, not very old, August 9th. Well, this one old, from a year ago, December 22nd. Wow. Almost exactly a year ago, almost. But in these posts, it actually mentions how Senator No Name, John McCain, News Shop, and BuzzFeed. Wow. Anon's new. Future proves past. News unlocks. Right there. You have more than you know. When did Paul Ryan announce he was retiring? And why would the Speaker of the House retire? Age of Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan's very young. Why does he need to retire? Well, he was forced into it, right? Sometimes reading between the lines demonstrates those complicit in treasonous or traitorous acts are no longer or soon to be in positions of power. Forced out. Republicans are easier to remove than Democrats. We've had a lot of Republicans resign over the past year or two. Democrats are still holding on tight. D's holding on to power as long as possible, hoping to sway pending action. Think declassification, think Supreme Court, and a whole lot more. ... sealed indictments, How many senior FBI and DOJ officials have been removed? None left by choice. None of them. Nothing to see here. Nothing's being done, the fake news says. The biggest accurate conspiracy there is. Fake news attacks demonstrate what? You're over the target. Mainstream media fake news attacks and a whole lot of people in the, quote, alternative or, quote, independent media journalists sure as hell switching sides lately. A lot of them trying to discredit Q, failing miserably, and outing themselves as well. A lot of those fake blue check markers, dudes with YouTube channels that just don't know what they're talking about. Sad to see, but hey, they're outing themselves doing it. Next post here, The Atlantic, Q dropping an Atlantic article from last year. Donald Trump's telling change to the Oval Office. Q says, Anons know why. And the reason why Anons know why is because Q referenced a long time ago, the reason why they had to change the Oval Office was because when Donald Trump assumed the office, there was a lot of technology, basically, a lot of spying gadgets that they had in that Oval Office that they had to remove. Q mentioned that in some of the very first drops last year. Anons know why. Next post, tweet from the FBI. This says, this week, FBI Director Wray completed his visits to all 56 FBI field offices, beginning in Knoxville, Tennessee, last September, a year and 3 months ago, ending yesterday in Tampa. Q says, why would the FBI Director take the time to visit all 56 FBI field offices around the entire U.S., completed this week? Logical thinking. Wonder if that has to do with those ongoing investigations or the sealed indictments coming out soon. Next post, again referencing the McCain BuzzFeed dossier story. McCain associate shared unverified Steele dossier with BuzzFeed, court filing says. Dropped December 22nd, 2017. News unlocks, you have the keystone. Right there again, Q basically saying, we've known a lot of this stuff for a long time. Just have to go through the old posts to verify. Another one here, Q saying, a month and a half ago, November 7th, 2018 here, there will be no recusal, panic in D.C. Today we are learning that Acting Attorney General Whitaker doesn't have to recuse himself from the Russia probe. Old news, Q says. Anons knew. Anons always know. Again, accurate conspiracy theory. Accurate. Future proves past. Confirmations. People out there saying fake or LARP. I don't get how you can still say that logically. Because you can't. Next post here. The Democrat Party will cease to exist once it's all exposed. Fake news can no longer control or dampen public awareness to the truth. Dark to light. And this post here is referencing how news breaking today that Democratic operatives created fake Russian bots designed to link Kremlin to Roy Moore in Alabama race. This was the Senate race in Alabama earlier in the year that Roy Moore lost to Doug Jones. And basically, in the court filing, it said, we orchestrated an elaborate false flag. That's cool to see in the mainstream media. False flag operation that planted the idea that the Moore campaign was amplified on social media by a Russian botnet. Wow. Dark to light right there. It's all coming out. And then this very last post right here says, Alice and Mad Hatter. Alice is Hillary Clinton's nickname in those circles, as we've learned through her emails being leaked and as through Q telling us in the past. And then Mad Hatter. Mad Hatter, I believe, is another code name for somebody. Don't exactly know who, but Q saying Alice and Mad Hatter. Messages to them. So that's all the new Q we have. Now going into a few last things I want to share with you guys. Loretta Lynch, former Obama Attorney General, questioned behind closed doors on Capitol Hill. She is talking. I'm sure she is talking. Q, in a drop from September 21st, also told us that LL is talking about the tarmac meeting, talking about Comey, talking about Hillary's emails, talking about John Brennan framing POTUS. Dark to light right there. I'm sure she sees the writing on the wall. Shows she's being the canary and singing. Next, Trump administration considering plan to pull all U.S. forces out of Syria. It's about time. It's about freaking time. And goes to note here, now that we have a president that is not arming terrorists behind the scenes, all right? Like many others in the past, I'm sure have. That's why it's been so easy to defeat ISIS. That's why ISIS has been essentially defeated in Syria. Now we can get U.S. forces out of there because we don't have Obama or the Bushes or the Clintons in office arming the very terrorists that we're supposed to be fighting. Very plain to see right there. Next story. How about that GoFundMe for Trump's Mexican-U.S. border wall? I've seen this go around a lot. I've seen a lot of people sharing it. I've seen even some people donating to it. But I want to make some things very clear. I have a lot of crucial questions about this. It's raised nearly $6 million. Let me refresh this. I bet that's going to be even higher. Whoa, another mill. $6.4 million in 3 days. That's a lot of money from people around the country. But isn't that border wall supposed to be funded by the military? Already funded? Funded in that omnibus bill and going to be built by the Army Corps of Engineers. Red Castle, right? Now, I don't know if the people behind this GoFundMe campaign or the 100,000 people that have donated to it already know that. They might just be unaware, ignorant. This might be not a scam at all, but just a well-intentioned move. Although my point is here that we don't need to donate to this because we already have it funded. So they just might not know that. My own personal opinion, I'm not going to waste any of my money on this because I think that wall's already going to be built. And then Illinois Attorney General says Catholic Church failed to disclose abuse allegations against 500 priests and clergy. Wow, and CNN even saying here, in yet another blow to the Catholic Church in the United States. I mean, how many archdioceses in how many states have we had been outed lately? Texas, Pennsylvania. Now we've got Illinois. I know we've had issues in Montana. It's crazy. Catholic Church going down around the U.S. But essentially right here it says the Illinois diocese released lists publicly identifying 185 clergy members who had been credibly accused of child sex abuse. But state AG said preliminary findings in her investigation revealed that the church failed to disclose sex abuse allegations against at least 500 additional priests and clergy. So the Illinois diocese only wanted to give up about 200, but the AG said, nope, there's 500 people you're hiding from us. So that's crazy right there. There are 197 dioceses in the United States, about 4 per state, and we're seeing basically every week a new one gets outed somewhere. So more than happy for the darkness in the Catholic Church to come to light, something I've been continuously tracking on this channel here. And very last thing to share with you guys, some weirdness going on at a London airport. Stuff to talk about here. Holiday chaos as drones shut down London's Gatwick Airport. They're calling it drones, right? Drone sightings, I've even seen it reported as. But let me ask you, why would this airport be shut down? I think it's still shut down, going on like 20 hours now as of the time I'm filming this. 20 hours shut down at an airport for drones? For drones? I mean, they would find that drone pilot instantly, and I don't think the airport would be shut down more than a few minutes, maybe a half hour. But 20 hours now for drones doesn't make sense. I found this video yesterday on Twitter. Somebody actually caught on tape what they're alleging is a drone. But look at this video. He zooms in, and that is, I mean, I have a couple drones. That's not a drone. That is not a drone. That is bright. Look, it even gets brighter. Stays in place, then it starts moving to the right. Flashes a couple times, gets brighter. That's not a drone. So I'm wondering what this really is. Was it a craft? Was it literally a craft that might have scared the crap out of the airport crew, and that's why they shut down the whole terminal, and they probably still have no idea what's going on? Might have been one of our craft or their craft, right? But a craft that the airport didn't know about, and they're trying to cover the story. Call it drones, drone sightings. Could be. Or was it something else? Is this some sort of behind-the-scenes operation to not let certain people leave the airport? I don't know, but that doesn't look like, if that is the craft that they shut down the airport with, that doesn't look like a drone. And then another weird thing seen in the sky yesterday, this over West Sacramento. Some people seeing it over San Francisco as well, basically in Middle California there. That's weird. That's really weird. And as you can see here, CBS Sacramento reports the scheduled launch of the Delta 5 Heavy in Southern California at Vandenberg was scrubbed or canceled. So what is this falling in the sky? What is that? Let me keep playing this video. What is that? All right, a lot of people have been seeing this. I've seen some news outlets trying to, again, cover this story up, calling it noctilucent clouds. But that's not a noctilucent cloud at all. I've seen noctilucent clouds with my own eyeballs. That's not a noctilucent cloud. That's something falling in the sky. Just weirdness. All sorts of things in the sky being covered up worldwide the past day needs to be reported on because, of course, we got stuff in the sky we're waiting to be disclosed. And speaking of that, Business Insider yesterday, 10 flying objects people have mistaken for alien spaceships. Speaking of covering up things in the sky, what an article to do that. Oh, all those things you're seeing in the sky, they're just jets that have designs that look otherworldly. Oh, or maybe it's a natural phenomenon called ball lightning that leads witnesses to think they'd seen something alien. Or maybe it's just mundane objects such as paper lanterns or party balloons that are reported as UFOs. Just a terrible, terrible cover piece right here. And the reason why they're putting this out into the public domain is because there's a battle for disclosure going on. You know, I've tracked it on my channel. I'll do some more reporting on it in the future. But basically, we're having multiple factions. We have a deep state faction, even multiple programs emanating from the deep state. And then we have white hats behind the scenes, patriots that are vying for more of a full disclosure, right? So you can see that info war play out for disclosure in the media here. We've got a lot of stories trying to only give half-truths, partial truths, or cover things up like this. We've got other programs, information dissemination programs, such as QAnon, trying to give us a fuller truth, right? So much more needs to be said about this, which I will do in the future. And thank you guys for watching yet another episode here on my channel. There'll be a lot more very soon. Have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Mahana Kwanzaa, whatever you choose to celebrate. If you even choose to celebrate anything, maybe you don't celebrate at all. Have a happy life. Take care, guys.